I thank you, Mr. Chairman. Secretary Kerry, on April 25th, the New York Times published Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif's claim that you, as Secretary of State, revealed classified information regarding Israel's covert attacks on Iranian interests in Syria. These allegations are extremely disturbing. Iran poses an existential threat to Israel, a key U.S. ally, and it has repeatedly demonstrated its willingness to attack Israel directly, both through proxies and from its position in Syria. Given the gravity of the security threat Iran poses to the U.S. and allied interests, I believe the report should be investigated in full. If true, Javad Zarif's claims raise serious questions regarding your ability, sir, to unreservedly protect U.S. interests as Special Presidential Envoy for Climate. The degree and the nature of U.S. participation in international climate change agreement must, and I underscore must, be informed by our national security interests. An overly narrow focus on left-wing action items like the deeply flawed Paris Agreement and the Iran nuclear deal cannot blind us to the malign intentions of adversaries like Iran, Russia, and the People's Republic of China. On April 28th, I sent a letter, this letter, to the Acting Inspector General of the Department of State and to the Secretary of State, requesting an investigation into your relationship with Iran's foreign minister. Are you aware of this letter, sir?
No, I'm not.
I'll make sure you have a copy.
Well, obviously I'm aware of it now.
The letter also requested a response to several very specific questions by today, May 12th. As I have not received answers, and Mr. Chairman, I'd like this entered into the record, I'd like to ask you now, what were the circumstances surrounding your alleged leak of information to Javad Zarif, including the timing of this conversation? What role have you had in formulating U.S. policy on re-entering the Iran nuclear deal, sir?
Well, I think your premise is incorrect. The story did not allege that I transferred classified information. It didn't even characterize it as classified. It simply said that on a tape, Javad was overheard in a long, long lamentation about how he was out of the loop in Iran and in the policy, and how he had learned this and learned that from somebody, and then popped in saying...
He said he learned it from you, sir, and that you told him there were 200 instances.
He said he learned one thing from me, and I have already answered that question. I never said that. I don't know how he came up with that. Don't know where it came from. And it was not... there was nothing stated in there about my having released anything on classified information. And in 28 years in the United States Senate, and in 6 years on the Intel Committee, and as chair of the Foreign Relations Committee, and as Secretary of State in 4 years, never has anybody suggested I did not protect classified
Well, I would like a
information.
full investigation, and I would like my questions answered. I'll see that you have a copy.